question, at what altitude will the acceleration due to gravity be 25% of that at the Earth's surface? Okay, so here it is asking that what altitude means at what height it will be 25% acceleration. Then we know that the relation between small g and capital G is gr square is equal to gm. At the earth surface, suppose h is equal to 0, hence g naught is equal to gm upon r square. Now at some height, at height h, at height h, so gh means r plus h, radius of the earth or radius of plus height, so gm upon r plus h the whole square. Okay, now divided gh upon g naught, divided gh upon g naught, so gh is given that gm upon r plus h whole square into divided by g naught. G naught means gm upon r square, so r square I will write above. So here gm will be cancelled out. According to the question, gh upon g naught is equal to 25%. 25% means 25 upon 100. Hence gh upon g naught is equal to 1 by 4. Therefore 1 by 4 is equal to r square upon r plus h the whole square. Now taking square both sides, we will get 1 upon 2 is equal to r upon r plus h. Cross multiply, we will get r plus h is equal to 2r. Hence h is equal to 2r minus r, therefore r. Hence the value of h means altitude is r. So at r altitude means at, if h is equal to r, then the gravity will be 25% of the earth's surface. Okay, now moving towards next question. In the next question, a particle is executing simple harmonic motion with an amplitude a and time period t. The displacement of the particle after 2t period from its initial position. Okay, so suppose that a particle is executing from its initial position. So here a particle is executing from its initial position. So we know that this is the maximum displacement, that is known as a. This one is also maximum displacement in the negative direction, that is minus a. So at initially t is equal to 0, t is equal to 0 or capital T is equal to 0, the displacement is 0. Now look, at t is equal to t by 4, the displacement is the maximum. Now if we will talk about t is equal to t by 2, so at t by 2 the displacement is again 0. In the same way, at t is equal to capital T, the displacement is 0. So here we can say 2t. Okay, this one is denoting 2t, means after each cycle of t by 2, after each cycle of t by 2, the displacement will become 0. So whether it is t by 2 or t or 3 by 2 or 2t or 4t or 5t or 6t, at each integer of t, the displacement will be 0. So the correct answer is D. Here is next question. In the next question, if some instant of time the displacement of simple harmonic oscillator is 0.02 meter and its acceleration is 2 meter per second square, then the angular frequency of the oscillator. Okay, so angular frequency, first we will write the what is given, that displacement. So displacement is given that 0.02 acceleration. So the relation between acceleration, displacement and angular frequency is alpha is equal to omega square x, and we will calculate angular frequency. Hence omega is equal to under root alpha upon x. Now omega means alpha is given that 2, x is 0.02. if we will cancel out point, so it will be 100. Hence omega is equal to 100. Hence omega is equal to 10 radian per second. Okay, so this is the correct answer, that is 10 radian per second. Moving towards next question. In the next question we have vertical capillary of radius r is brought in contact with water of density rho and surface tension s. If the angle of contact is 0, then the amount of heat liberated while the water rising along the capillary tube. So okay, here you have to remember one thing, that the water will be rises in the capillary tube until the pressure of outside of the water and inside of the water will become equal. So suppose you can say that there is a capillary tube in which we have filled water like something this, okay, and there is a capillary tube. There is a capillary tube. So in the capillary tube water will be rises. Water will be rises, that is h height. Okay. So suppose that water has rised here up to this position. So here you can say this is the pressure of the outside, this is the pressure of the inside. So PA will be equal to P naught. If PA is not P naught, if PA is equal to P naught, if PA is not equal to P naught, it means the water is still rising. Okay. So here there are two conditions. We have to find out the heat liberated. So heat liberated means Q. So Q, the water due to the surface tension minus water due to the glass. Okay, so in the glass we know that surface tension, or it will be 2T upon R. Hence WST, that is the value of surface tension, will be equal to pi R square H and rho g H. While for water the H will be H by 2. Hence pi R square H rho g H by 2. Okay, and the value of H in the form of surface tension will be equal to, you can calculate with the help of this figure. Okay, so 2s upon R rho g, R rho g, this one and all these things taking the formula. Hence the value of Q will be equal to, after subtracting we will get 2 pi s square rho g. So the correct answer is 2 pi s square upon rho g. Here is correct answer is A. Now in the next question, a closed component containing gas in moving with some acceleration in horizontal direction. Neglect effect of gravity, then the pressure in the component is. Okay. So what will be happen? Here you can see that the acceleration in horizontal direction, moving with some acceleration in the horizontal direction. So pressure cannot be same everywhere because it is moving, not in the stationary position. So lower in front side, then the pressure in the component will goes towards the lower side. Therefore this answer is correct, lower in the front side. In the next question we have, when a ceiling fan is switched on, it makes 10 rotation in the first 4 seconds. Assuming uniform angular acceleration, the number of rotation it will take in the next 4 seconds is. Now what we have to calculate, the number of rotation. Suppose that number of rotation initially was n1 and n1 is given that 10 rotation. Okay, and from angular equation of motion we know that the displacement is equal to theta is equal to omega naught plus 1 upon 2 alpha t square, where omega naught is angular velocity, that is initial, and alpha is angular acceleration. Here it is given that here it is given that number of rotation is theta. Now what will be the angular displacement? We know that angular displacement is something like circular. Okay, therefore for completing one cycle, theta will be equal to 2 pi, you can say 360 degree. Okay, for completing one cycle n is equal to 1, for completing two cycle n is equal to 2, for completing 3 cycle n is equal to 3. Therefore for completing n cycle, theta will be n, means after 2 pi displacement will reach at the same position. Hence we can say theta is equal to 2 pi n, and the value of n1 is given that 10. Therefore 2 pi into 10, angular acceleration, the angular velocity, initial angular velocity is 0, hence 0 into t is 0 plus 1 upon 2 alpha, and t is given that t is 4 second, hence 4 into 4 square means 16. Therefore 2 8 is a 16. Now we can say that alpha will be equal to alpha will be equal to 20 pi upon 8, or you can say it will be equal to 5 pi upon 4. Okay, I'm sorry, 2. Hence alpha will be equal to 5 pi upon 2, and this angular acceleration in circular motion is going to be constant. Now for the next 10, for the next 4 second, for the next 4 second, for next 4 second, t will be equal to 4 plus 4, hence 8 second, and the number of rotation will be changed. Suppose that number of rotation is n2, therefore 2 pi n2 will be equal to initial angular velocity is 0, hence 1 upon 2 alpha t square. Here we have to calculate n2, therefore n2 will be equal to 1 upon 2. The value of alpha means angular acceleration is constant, hence 5 pi by 2 into t square, that is 64, and divided by this 2 pi. 2 pi, pi pi is cancel out. Okay, 2 to 4 to the 8, hence 8 8 is a 64. Now we have get n2 is equal to 40. The correct answer is, here there are two options is given, that 40, C and D. So you can suppose any one of them. 40, let us suppose D. Okay, the correct answer is D, that is 40 rotation will take in 8 seconds, while initially in first 4 seconds the number of rotation was only 10. Okay, here is next question. In the next question what is saying, let I be the moment of inertia of a uniform square plate about an axis AB that passes through its center and parallel to two of its sides CD is aligned in the plane of the plate that passes through the center of the plate and makes an angle theta with AB. The moment of inertia of the plate about the axis CD is then equal to, okay, what is asking, the moment of inertia along the CD, which is basically passing, making an angle theta. Here is the moment of inertia, the moment of inertia along AB dash and along AB will be equal. So what we can say, the moment of inertia along AB will be equal to moment of inertia along A dash B dash, because this one is a square, and due to this A dash, B dash and AB are perpendicular. Now if we will make a perpendicular which is CD. Here we can make a perpendicular which is CD. What we can say now? The moment of inertia along C dash and D dash will be equal. We can say now, but here what will we get? We will later discuss. Okay. So moment of inertia along A dash B dash, A dash B dash will be equal to A B. And we know that since A dash B dash and AB are perpendicular, therefore according to perpendicular theorem, the total moment of inertia, that is Z, will be equal to moment of inertia, sum of the moment of inertia along the two other axes, which is I A B A dash B dash. In other word, we can also say that moment of inertia will be equal to ICD plus IC dash D dash. What we have got here? We have got that moment of inertia along AB will be equal to A dash B dash. Now what we are getting? We are getting that this one will be 2IA B, because moment of inertia along AB will be equal to moment of inertia along A dash B dash. And what we will get at here? In the same way, the moment of inertia ICD plus IC dash will be equal to 2ICD. Hence, we can say that moment of inertia along IC dash D dash will be equal to moment of inertia along ICD. Hence, we can say that there is no change in the moment of inertia, and initially the moment of inertia was I. Initially the moment of inertia was I. Therefore, the final moment of inertia along ICD or IC dash D dash will be equal to 2ICD, which is equal to 2IB. Hence, the moment of inertia remains same. Therefore, the correct answer is A. In the next question, we have the shortest wavelength of X-rays emitted from an X-ray tube depends on. Shortest wavelength, that is X-rays, means they are the visible rays, and they are always depend upon the applied voltage. Therefore, the correct answer is B. Moving towards next question. In the next question, we have an X-ray tube procedures a continuous spectrum of radiation with its shortest wavelength of 10 the power 45 into 10 the power minus 2 angstrom. The maximum energy of photon in the radiation in electron volt is. The maximum energy can be defined as E is equal to hc upon lambda. What is given? That lambda is equal to 45 into 10 the power minus 2 angstrom, and 1 angstrom is equal to 10 the power minus 10 meter. Hence lambda will be equal to 45 into 10 the power minus 2 and minus 10 minus 12 meter. The value of Planck's constant as well as the speed of light is given. Therefore, E is equal to 6.62 into 10 the power minus 34 into 3 into 10 the power 8 meter per second divided by 45 into 10 the power minus 12 meter. Okay, but this one is not in electron volt. This value is actually in the form of volt. Okay, therefore if we want to calculate this value in electron volt, we will multiply by E and also divided by E. Therefore this combination will be electron volt, and E is equal to 1.6 into 10 the power minus 19. Hence 6.62 into 3 into 10 the power minus 34 plus 8 divided by 45 into 10 the power minus 12 into 1.6 into 10 the power minus 19. After solving all these value, we will get E is equal to 27,500 electron volt. Hence correct answer is A. Moving towards next question. In the next question, the half-life of 131 iodine is 8 days. Okay, So here half-life T half is given that 8 days. Given a sample of 131 pi at time t is equal to 0, we can assert that we know that n is equal to n lambda e the power minus lambda t, and the rate of decay, that is dn upon dt, is equal to lambda n, okay, minus lambda n. Now what is the value of t is equal to 0? We can assert that. So what will be happened? The total reduction, no nucleus will decay before t is equal to 4 days, no nucleus will decay before t is equal to 8 days, no nucleus will decay before t is equal to 16 days. A given nucleus may decay at any time after t is equal to 0. So what we have probability, if t is equal to, if t is equal to 0, then n is equal to n naught e the power minus 0, or we can say e the power 1 upon e the power 0, okay. But what will be happened if t is equal to infinite? If t is equal to infinite, then n is equal to n naught e the power minus infinite, and e the power minus infinite is approximately 0, hence hence n is equal to 0 when t is equal to infinite. Means for total for total decay, the time should be infinite. Means you can say that it will be started decay from any time. Means from t is equal to 0 it will start decay. Hence the correct answer is D. Now what is the next question? The next question is the maximum kinetic energy of photoelectrons emitted from a surface when photons of 6 electron volt on its 4 electron. The stopping potential in volt is. What do you mean by stopping potential? A stopping potential means the potential required to stop ejection of electron from a metal surface where incident beam, or you can say energy, greater than the work done of potential energy. Here is, you can say that potential, stopping potential is always negative, or you can say it must be approximately 0. Therefore must be 0 means the minimum potential energy must be 4 electron volt. Hence the correct answer is 4. Now moving toward the next question, the work function of a metal surface is 4 electron volt. The longest wavelength of light that can cause photoelectron emission from this surface is approximately. Here we can say that E is equal to Sc upon lambda, and the work function E means phi. Therefore phi is equal to Sc upon lambda, and the value of phi is given that 4 electron volt. 4 electron volt means 4 into 1.6 into 10 the power minus 19 volt. Hence 4 into 1.6 into 10 the power minus 19 will be equal to, the value of H is 6.62 into 10 the power minus 34, and the value of C is 3 into 10 the power 8 meter per second divided by lambda. Hence lambda will be equal to 6.62 into 3 into 10 the power minus 34 plus 8 divided by 4 into 1.6 into 10 the power minus 19. After solving all these value, we will get 3100 into 10 the power minus 10 meter, which will be equal to 310 nanometer, or you can say that 310 into 10 the power minus 9 meter. The correct answer is C. Here is next question. What is the next question? At absolute zero, silicon acts as. So at absolute zero, silicon or germanium will not produce any potential difference. Therefore you can say there is no transfer, or there is no vibrations of the electrons. Hence, if there is no vibrations of the electron at absolute zero, then they will be known as insulator. The logic gate given below represents A. Okay, here this one is the logic gate of the AND gate. Logic gate of AND gate, and here a NOT gate is added. AND gate plus a NOT gate. The combination of AND and NON gate will the combination of AND and NOT gate will gives NAND gate. Okay, here is A dot B, and due to this here it will be A dot B bar. Here x is equal to AB, here x is equal to A dot B bar. Hence this one is known as NAND gate. If you will add any NOT gate in any gate, for an example, if you are adding a NOT gate in OR gate, then it will be known as NOR gate. Okay, the correct answer is NAND gate. What will be happened in the next question? What is given that in the middle of the depletion layer of a reverse bias PN junction, in the middle the depletion layer of reverse bias junction, the electric field is zero. Correct answer is electric field is zero. First one is correct, but we will discuss about the potential is maximum. How it can be potential is maximum when E is equal to minus del V upon del R. Electric field is maximum. If potential energy is maximum, means electric potential, which is just opposite in the negative direction. Therefore, hence E is equal to minus del V upon del R. E is equal to minus dV upon dr. If E is 0, means V is constant. But if V is 0, then E can also be 0. But here electric field is 0, and being electric field 0 means potential cannot be 0. Now moving toward the next question. What is in the next question? In the next question, how does the angle of minimum deviation of a glass prism vary if the incident violet light is replaced with red light? Here you can understand that Vibgyor. Okay, so in the form of Vibgyor, we are talking about the deviation. Deviation can be defined as delta is equal to mu minus 1 into angle of deviation. What will be happen if you will start replaced red light, you will replace red light with violet light, then what should be happened here? You can say that it can be increases, or it can be decreases, or it can be same. What should be happened here? The correct answer is that decreases. Why it will be decreases? Because angle of minimum deviation of red light is always less than the violet light. Hence you can say that angle of deviation of violet light is maximum, then indigo, and then what will be happen? Angle of minimum deviation for red light is less, hence deviation will be decreases. This one is the correct answer. Here is the next question. A ball is dropped from a height of 20 meters above the surface of the water in lake. The refractive index of water is 4 by 3. A fish inside the lake in the line of fall of ball is looking at the ball. At an instant what the ball is 12.8 meter above the water surface, the fish sees speed of ball as. Okay, so here consider a ball is dropped. When ball dropped from some height, that is 20 meter, that is 20 meter, but at the surface when fish is looking to the ball, then suppose the speed of the ball is v, which is apparent. Okay, when there is refractive index and non-refractive index, means there are two medium, then one of the medium will be known as apparent medium, another medium will be known as real medium. Therefore the real medium and apparent medium will be different. Sorry, this one is the real speed of the ball, and the height or the difference is 12.8 meter. 12.8 meter. What is given? A fish inside the lake line of ball looking at the ball at instant when the ball is 12.8 meter above the water. Okay, so here is the water is 12.8 meter, therefore the rest distance is 12 point minus 12.8, hence this one is 7.2 meter. Suppose here is fish which is looking to the ball, therefore the speed of the ball is known as apparent speed. Okay, and we know the relation between displacement, or you can say distance. X apparent means apparent distance will always be equal to refractive index, product of the refractive index and actual distance. But here we have to calculate speed, therefore we will differentiate both side with respect to t. Mu is constant, therefore we will differentiate only with respect to distance. Dx upon dt is known as velocity, hence v apparent will be equal to mu v. Okay, but we don't know about the velocity, but the value of the velocity, speed or velocity will be equal to under root 2g h. Okay, therefore v is equal to under root 2, suppose g is 10, and height is 7.2 meter, which we have already calculated. Multiplied 10 into 7.2, that is 72, multiplied by 2, 144, hence v is equal to 12 meter per second. Therefore apparent velocity will be equal to, refractive index is given 4 by 3, 4 by 3 into 12. Hence apparent speed will be equal to 16 meter per second, which will be actually greater than the real speed. The correct answer is C. Now moving towards next question. In the next question, the way the fringe pattern change when the screen is moved away from the slit is. Okay, so what will be happen? We know that fringe width beta is equal to lambda capital D upon dA. Okay, what will be happen? The way the fringe pattern changes when the screen moved away from the slit is, if we will move screen away from the slit, look how it will be happen. Here is the source S1 and S2, basically this is known as small d, and screen is put here, that is known as capital D. So if you will increase the distance, if you will increase the distance, means capital D be directly proportional to capital D. Therefore if we are increasing or we have moved away from the slit, then D will be increased, and if D will be increases, then beta will also be increases, therefore width of the fringe increases. Therefore correct answer is A. Moving towards next question, what is the next question? It is from the Young double slit experiment. In Young double slit experiment, the 10th maximum of wavelength lambda 1 is at a distance of y1 from the central maximum. So we know that this what is the distance? Formula of the distance in the form of y, we know that x, we know that, but here it is y. Therefore y is equal to n lambda capital D upon small d, where you already know that what is small d and capital D. Therefore, y1 is equal to n1 lambda d upon capital D. And what we have here, we have the value of n1 is equal to n1. The value of n1 is equal to 10 and n2 is equal to what is given, that 5. Therefore, y1 is equal to 10 lambda d, sorry, lambda d upon capital D, and y2 is equal to 5 lambda d upon small d. Hence y1 upon y2 lambda d upon d will be cancelled out, 10 upon 5, which will be equal to lambda 1 lambda 2, which will be equal to 10 lambda 1 upon 5 lambda 2. The correct answer is a 2 lambda 1 upon lambda 2. What we have in the next question? In the next question, when polarized light beam is incident from air onto glass at the polarizing angle. Okay, so what is happening here? Suppose there is a glass, a light is coming which is unpolarized light. Okay, means uh, electric field, direction of the electric field can be any direction. It is falling on the surface of the glass. Therefore some of the part will be reflected as well as some of the part will be refracted. What is saying? Reflected beam is polarized 100%. It is obvious true that reflected beam will always be polarized 100%. Therefore here this light is polarized 100%. Now what is the next condition? Reflected and refracted beams are partially polarized. No. The reason for reflected beam getting 100% polarized is that almost all the light is reflected. No, I have already told you that some of the light will be reflected, some of the light will be refracted. Therefore this one is also wrong. Now moving towards next question. Here we have the next question. Write down the output at x for the input a is equal to 0, b is equal to 0 and a is equal to 1, b is equal to 1. Look at here, this one is the sorry, look at here, this one is the AND gate, and due to here a NOT gate is added, therefore this one is NAND gate. Okay, what will be happen in the NAND gate? X is equal to A dot B bar. Okay, therefore output at here is A dot B bar. What about this? This one is going directly at here. Here the input are A bar dot A dot B bar. Okay, and here the input is only B. Hence X is equal to A dot B bar, A dot B bar plus B. Therefore X is equal to A dot B bar plus B. Now put this value. If A is equal to 0, B is equal to 0. Therefore if A is equal to 0, B is equal to 0. 0, 0, 0, 0 will give 1. Okay, and plus B is 0. Therefore 1 plus 0 is 1. Hence A is equal to 0, B is equal to 0, then X is equal to 1. What will be happened? if x a is equal to 1, b is equal to 1, if a is equal to 1, b is equal to 1, then a dot b bar will gives 0. So this one will gives 0 in the second case, but 0 plus 1, b is 1. Hence x will be 1 if a is equal to 1, b is equal to 1. I am writing here truth table for a dot b bar. Okay, so in the case of a dot b bar, 0 comma 0 will be 1 and the rest of them will be 0. 0 1 means 0, 1 0 means 0, sorry, 1 1 means 0. Okay, therefore here is when 0 0 means this one will be 1 and b 0, therefore 1 plus 0 is 1. Therefore the correct answer is this one, b is the correct answer. Now the next question is from the center of mass, and this, from center of mass you will always get a question which is very easy. Two blocks of mass, here is given that m1 is equal to 10, okay, m2 is equal to 4 kilogram, connected by a spring of negligible mass placed on a frictionless horizontal surface. An impulse gives a velocity of 14 meter per second on the heavier block. On the heavier block means v1 is equal to 14 meter per second, heavier block in the direction of the lighter block. The velocity of the center of mass is, okay, so here you can say that v2 is 0, hence vcm will be equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2 divided by m1 plus m2. Therefore the value of m1, 10 into 14 plus 0 divided by 10 plus 4. Okay, the value of 0 means v2 is 0, therefore 4 into 0 will be 0. Hence 140 divided by 14 will be equal to 10. Therefore central velocity will be equal to 10 meter per second. Okay, thank you so much.